Wardrobe for the Bass True Anglers podcast is brought to you by Basco Fishing. High-performance fishing apparel that can be customized to fit your needs. Do you need to showcase your brand? Does your business need apparel? Do you need a tournament jersey? Visit their website at www.bascofishing.com. We'll get those life vests zipped and clipped, strap down those rods, and stow away those tackle bags because we are going fishing. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Bass True Anglers podcast. I'm your host, Keith Nicewonger, and I hope this episode finds you with 5 for 25. Not in your live well, but that your boat official weighed, recorded, photographed, and released. No way there's any cheating if that happens, right? Special thanks to our partners who make this podcast possible. Basco Fishing is the official wardrobe for the Bass True Anglers podcast. Today, I am wearing the Magenta Seafoam SPF 30 hooded sun shirt. Be sure to check out all the colors and styles by going to bascofishing.com. By now, you know we are the Western representatives for ducket fishing, pro-driven rods, reels, and baits. You know these guys, the strongest pro staff in all professional bass fishing. And it is these same pros that put their know-how and experience into the products that Ducket produces. Ducket is building a Western presence, and if you haven't seen it yet, you soon will. New independent dealerships are popping up all the time. Find out about the Ducket lineup of pro-driven rods, reels, and baits by going to their website, ducketfishing.com. Tonight, Keith Poche is somewhere out on the Venice, Louisiana bayou, and he's going to be joining us on our podcast to talk about his season, to talk about his tour decision for this next year, and a bunch of other things. We're going to get into a funny hamburger story with he and Cliff Crochet as well. But first, if you like the content we produce on this channel, hit the subscribe button, like this video, and share it with a friend. Share it with an enemy. Share it with somebody you just want to annoy, but make sure you share this video. And of course, leave us a comment. Go ahead, hit the subscribe button, and I'll play some blues for you while you're doing it. We are building our viewership, and your follow means an awful lot to us. So go ahead, hit that subscribe button, leave us a comment, like this video. Our guest tonight has made 2 appearances in the Bassmaster Classic and is soon to be making his 3rd appearance. He just requalified for the BASS Elite Series via the Opens, and he was the overall Angler of the Year for the Opens this season. He also competes on the Bass Pro Tour. He's got a very, very interesting YouTube channel, Off the Grid. Keith Poche, welcome to the Bass True Anglers podcast. Thanks for being with us tonight.
Yes, sir. Thanks
Where
for
are where
having me.
are you? You are somewhere off the grid, right?
Man, I stay off the grid. Yeah, I'm down here with my sponsor, Gator Tracks, and down in South Louisiana. We're way down here in Venice, Louisiana. So I'm actually in my truck on my Wi-Fi, so I could have some good service and to come on with you guys. So yeah, we do what we got to do.
That's pretty primitive, but that's cool. Uh, so let's get right to it. You have double qualified for the Bass Pro Tour and now the BASS Elite Series. By the way, congratulations! What an amazing open season you had this year.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Yeah, I had a lot of fun fishing opens. I was able to do what I like to do. My style of fishing, in that little boat, going way back and stuff, doing my off the grid things, and it didn't always work out, but a lot of times it did, and that's just what I like to do. And when you're doing something you like and you're having fun, you're going to make good decisions on the water, and things are going to work out a lot more times than not.
I mean, I think you've said what you're going to do, but can you tell us you're going to do both events, both leagues this next year?
Yes, sir. Absolutely. I'm gonna fish the Bass Pro Tour, and I'm gonna fish the Elite Series, and I'm gonna actually fish one. I don't. I think they call them. I can't remember what they call them. They changed them, but so there's 9 opens, but there's like 3 divisions. I'm gonna fish one division of the opens as well because, and let me just go through the rules here. So, and kind of let everybody know kind of what I'm dealing with is trying to make all this happen. Look, I don't want to make things complicated for any league. All right. I want to fish more. And I think it's good to fish both leagues. And I want more anglers to do the same as what I'm doing as well. And I hope at some point the leagues will work together so we can fish both tours. But they're just making it really, really tough. But so just kind of talk about a little bit about the rules. So for instance, if I miss one day of major league fishing, I fish 2 days, I'm guaranteed 2 days. But if I miss any day that I'm qualified to fish, then I'm eliminated for good. Like if it's the first tournament and I miss one day without a legitimate excuse. Now, if I'm sick, if I got COVID, of course that's excused. But if I miss an event, a one day of the event to go fish another event, whatever, for whatever reason, then I'm automatically disqualified from major league fishing for good. Like I'm out. Like I can't fish no more unless I requalify again, go through all the,
Oh my
the, the
gosh.
ranks. And yeah, so they're really, really strict on that. So moving forward, major league fishing is going to kind of be my number one go-to because there's some conflicts with the Elite Series. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna try to make my intentions is to make every Bass Pro Tour event. And with that said, there will be a couple of conflicts with the elites. So I will have to miss an elite, one elite totally. I will miss that one for sure. Like I won't even get to fish the event because the Bass Pro Tour falls in the off limits of an Elite Series off limits period. So, but I think I can make the other ones work. So, for instance, the first event, one's at Kissimmee and one's at Okeechobee. Now, I may not be able to fish both days at Okeechobee for the Elite Series, but I'll at least get to fish one day. And who knows, I may catch 35 pounds and have a really good event and make the cut and continue to fish. So, but with that said, and let me move into the BASS rules. So with the Major League, if you miss one day, then you're done. Well, with Bassmaster, and I've went through the rules with them. If I miss any day that I'm qualified to fish, just like Major League Fishing, there is a penalty. But the penalty is if I was to qualify for the Bassmaster Classic for 2024, that makes me ineligible to fish the Bassmaster Classic. So they have some stipulations in there. They have some rules to just like MLF. But then that puts me why I'm fishing the opens. I signed up for one division of the opens because if I go win one of those opens and I fish all 3 of those tournaments, then I qualify for the 2024 Classic. So I get around bass is ruled, because I'm gonna have to miss one. There's no question I'm gonna have to miss a day over there. So that would automatically disqualify me for the 2024 Classic. So I'm trying to work the system here to where I can fish both tours, still have an opportunity for the Classic, still opportunity for the Red Crest, make everybody happy, and do what I'm supposed to do, and fish a lot of tournaments.
Yeah, that is an absolutely astounding story. You know, I as a fan of the sport, I wish the leagues could acknowledge that the other ones exist. It's almost as though they want to be on completely different planets, and it's almost as though the other guys don't even exist. Come on, let these guys fish. These guys want to fish. It's what they do.
Yeah, I don't know, and it's a deal where they want to be the premier league, and I get it. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that, but we live in a society where it's all fast paced, and we're doing a lot of different things, and we all want to be a part of something, and they want to be number one, and I mean, I understand. I completely get why they do it. They're doing what they're doing, but I think they forget about what the product is, and the product is us fishermen.
Yeah.
So they need to help us out. They need to help us help them, in a way. So I don't know. I mean, of course, I've been doing this for 14 years now. I've kind of lost count, but I haven't been here around for 20 or 30 years. So I don't know. I don't even know if I really have a voice in this. I don't even know if I have an opinion. If my opinion really counts in this, but I just really wish there would be some kind of system where either they all come together and become one, or they work together where we can, coexist and make it all work for the benefit of the sport and for us anglers that create. Because if we don't fish, there's no league, there's no Bassmaster, there's no MLF. So
right.
It's just really heartbreaking, because I care about the sport. I care about what I'm doing and where I'm at, and we're at a good point in our lives, and what fishing is all about. We got a lot of young anglers that are coming up from the high school and the college. We need to create a good example for them. We need to present something for them that they can really want to be a part of and be proud of, that they made, not some you know drama deal, that this or that. I mean, it needs to be something that's really truly professional, and that a young person, and even sponsors, that saying, hey, this is something that is really, really awesome and important, that is moving in the right direction, and that's really making a difference in young people's lives, and creating opportunity as careers for people. So, I don't know. They're really making it hard, but at the same time, they have their agendas, and I totally understand. I see both sides, but at the end of the day, we as anglers need to make a living, and that's why I'm choosing to do this, because I feel like it's going to help my brand. I'm going to be able to put my sponsors out there more. Yeah. I'm just creating opportunities for myself and my sponsors. So each individual league can dislike that. I really don't care, because I'm worried about me and my family and my sponsors. That's what's on my list. So if they don't want me to fish both, then they need to make a rule that you can't fish any other tool. But as of right now, I'm fishing both.
Well, it's a great story, because you're going to have people cheering for you. I mean, everyone's going to want to see you pull this off. They're going to want to see you win an Open so that you qualify for a Classic. They're going to want to see you, make it to the Red Crest, because
man, that'd be awesome. And
that would be.
I've had some success with Major League Fishing early on with the Cups and Selects, but since the Bass Pro Tour has been in existence, I don't know if I struggled. I don't really. I can't put my finger on it, but I've yet to make a Red Crest. I've had some really good tournaments, but I've also had some really bad tournaments. And I think that I get stubborn. I think we all get stubborn at some point. We try to, force stuff and make stuff work that we shouldn't. But yeah, and I don't know. I don't know. I know we have some changes coming along with Major League Fishing now. Now they're just counting your best 5, and I feel like that's what I've always done. I've always, because I've had some really good one days, and I think a one day can carry you farther in a five fish. You see what I'm saying? Like, so
Oh yeah.
it's harder for somebody to catch up to you, if you know what I mean. Like if you had a really good day, 20-25 pounds, it's hard for you to lose that lead. And so, and now I think there may be zeroing the weights back out when you go to the championship round or something. I'm not real sure, but I mean that's kind of a little kink in it as well, because you can't build a lead like on the Bassmaster Elite Series where your weight's accumulative day
Yeah.
in, day out. Your weight adds each day. So yeah, but I'm looking forward to the five fish. I like, but I do like the every fish count, but I'm looking forward to the five fish as well, because I feel like I do well at that.
Well, I
Just
think,
because.
yeah, I was gonna
Go
say, I
ahead.
think that might help your style. You like to get into those backwater areas that may not have
Yeah,
a lot of bites, but they have
exactly.
the right bites. And I think that could really make you a bigger factor on this in the BPT this year.
Yeah, and even though I'm fishing out of a 20-foot Gator Tracks with a 250, I mean it's the same size as a fiberglass boat,
Yeah.
and it's an awesome boat. But I'm kind of limited on places I can go. Like I go on my little 18-foot GT series with the 90, but I still get back in places. And like you said, there's just not a lot of fish back there. So you have to manage them. You have to have multiple places. It's like a five fish kind of deal. So you can go back there and catch, 15, 18 pounds, and then it's kind of done. You can't really go back the next day and expect to have that same
Right.
amount of weight.
Right.
You have to go fish another place like that similar, or kind of revert back to the main lake. So yeah, it gives me some options to be able to utilize that kind of stuff and be successful at it for sure.
Hey, now, a couple of months ago, I ran into, I guess he's a friend of yours. I guess you guys used to room together, but I ran into Cliff Crochet. And first of all, my name is Keith, and I started to introduce myself, and I got confused. And he said, "Oh no, I'm Cliff. I'm not Keith." I said, "No, I'm Keith." Anyway, it got really funny with him in a hurry. And well, he told a hamburger story.
I guess 2010 or 11, hanging out with Keith Poche.
Keith Poche.
Keith Poche. A lot of people get me and Keith.
No relation.
No relation. Different states, different spelling, different name, different everything. So I'm hanging out with Keith, and we're in Troy, Alabama, and we go to a local restaurant to eat supper. And the lady says, what can I get you? And I said, well, I need a cheeseburger. I want a cheeseburger with mayonnaise, mustard, ketchup, and pickles. And she said, all right, no problem. You want a cheeseburger, mayonnaise, mustard, ketchup, and pickles? And I said, no. I said, I want a cheeseburger, mayonnaise, mustard, ketchup, and pickles. She said, yeah, you want a cheeseburger, mayonnaise, mustard, ketchup, and pickles. And I was kind of, I didn't know if she was stupid or if I should be embarrassed because she didn't understand me. I didn't know what was going on. So I looked at Keith. I said, man, tell that woman what I want. And Keith told her in Alabama redneck talk what I wanted. I wanted a cheeseburger with mayonnaise, mustard, ketchup, and pickles.
I guess I learned that there was actually math involved when it comes to ordering hamburgers. What was your side of that story?
Yeah. So, well, Cliff, what was that? Where was we at? We were somewhere, I think, like a Hooters or something, and we were ordering some hamburgers, and Cliff said, I want some mayonnaise on my hamburger, mayonnaise." And the girl said, "What you want on that hamburger?" He said, "I want some mayonnaise."
Minus,
Cliff got a really, Cliff's
minus
got a really
everything.
strong, yeah, Cliff's got a really strong Cajun accent. So he was trying to say mayonnaise, but she couldn't understand mayonnaise, minus, I don't know. But yeah, he was trying to say mayonnaise. He wanted mayonnaise on his hamburger, and she couldn't figure it out. It took her forever.
That must have been something traveling with Poche and Crochet together. That must have caused a lot of confusion, right?
Yeah, we were the Touche brothers.
The Touche brothers. That's pretty good. That is pretty good. All right. Well, we caught up on that one. So you recently won BASS Open event on the Red River. That was a great win, fishing some pretty extreme backwater areas. How do you go about finding those places? Are you a Google Maps guy or a Google Earth person, or how do you find that stuff?
Yeah, absolutely, man. I utilize every tool I can to find these places. Drone, that's a good
Oh
tool.
wow.
I know,
Yeah.
Bass has a rule. You can't use a drone during official practice, but I mean, you can fly it any other time. It's not that big of a deal. So, but most of it is with Google Earth, because Google Earth Pro on a laptop, you can go back in history. You can see how the places evolved over the years, if it maintains a amount of water in it. If I see a place that dries up over last couple of years, I'm not going to even fool with it, because if it dries up, I mean, the
Yeah.
fish ain't going to live in there. I mean,
Right.
it's just not going to sustain the amount of fish that you need to be successful. So, but yeah, I mean, certain things, and I've learned so much over the years by doing this. It's like with any other technique, man. You just kind of get a niche and a knack at what places are better than others, and you kind of understand what you're getting yourself into, how to get in them, how to get out, the things you need to make it happen. So I've just been doing it so long. It's just kind of evolved, and I've gotten better at it. And I've done it all year. I've done it for several years. I mean, I've fished out of a little boat in the opens for the last 4 or 5 years, and just the opens though, and I've done really well at it. So this is the first year I really dove into all 9 opens, fishing out of the little boat, and man, it really worked out. I mean, I had a really good year. I had a second place. I won one, and a lot of good finishes, and won the AOI. And of course, I mean, it's something that I really enjoy doing.
Yeah.
And when you're doing that, you're going to make good decisions, man.
Did somebody really try to sabotage your area on that last day at the Open that you won?
Man, there is no question. 100% someone put rocks out over this cut. So just to kind of give you a visual of what I was doing and what it looks like. So there was a long jetty, and there was a little break in that jetty that's been there for many, many years. I didn't open this hole up like it's been there. You could tell there was the water had been a certain level for a long time. There was a moss line around on the rocks, and I was going through there every day. And then I would get past the rocks, and there'd be some water, and then there would be a mud ditch that I had to run in. Well, there was no rocks at that mud ditch. So when I got there to the last day, I went to go through that rock cut, and I hit boom. I'm like, this ain't right. Like, why am I hitting? Like, I never hit anything. Like, it had water underneath it. The water level didn't change. Well, after looking at it, investigating, you can see the rocks were turned up. The moss lines weren't like,
Oh wow.
at the water. Yeah, and like the rocks were like that much underneath the water. Like there was no question. The rocks were fresh. Like they were just put underneath the water. And when I got through that, and I got to my mud ditch, there was fresh rocks like all in front of that mud ditch. Like there was no rocks ever there at that spot. So
Jeez.
there was no question that someone went out there that Friday night and put rocks out to try to hinder me from getting back into that hole. 100% it happened.
Jeez Louise. If they put that kind of effort into catching fish, maybe they'd have been ahead.
That's what I say. That's what I say. And I'm like, but they did a poor job at it, and that's why they don't catch fish, because they do a poor job at finding them, because they didn't stop me. They didn't do enough to stop me. That's for sure.
Well,
That's for sure.
is the investigation turned up anything? I mean, do we have any suspects out there, or are you just not dealing with that at this point?
Well, I don't know if I want to go into that, but
You
man,
don't
it
have
really
to.
doesn't matter. I mean, I'll tell you. No, I'll tell you. So I know who did it, and here's the deal. So, and I've talked with Bassmaster, and once they were competitors in the tournament. Once they're eliminated, Bass has no, like, they're not part of the tournament, so Bass cannot enforce any kind of rule
Yeah,
violation
yeah.
on them. So they're kind of out of it. So it's up to me to go out and press charges and go through this and go through that. So I don't even know if I want to fool with it. I won the tournament.
It's a lot of energy.
I mean, everything worked out. So I don't know if I want to deal with it. I know who they are. They know I know. So I think that's enough. You know what I'm saying? I think that's enough. Yeah.
That works.
And And if anything else happens again, I'm not going to expose them. I'm not going to do that because I don't have 100% proof. Like it has not, they haven't been like proven guilty, but I know it's him. So I'm not going to go down that road, and I'm not going to put that out there and it be he said, she said, this and that. So I'm going to let it be. I'm going to move on and just, keep fishing.
I'm a big fan of your YouTube channel. We started talking, this conversation started about 3 or 4 weeks ago, and I started watching a lot of off the grid stuff, and that is a very cool YouTube channel. I saw you shoot a snake one day.
Yeah, man, I run into all kind of stuff, man. I've been doing that for so long, and I had a buddy. We were doing some stuff, going back in a place, and he's like, "Man, did you? I can't believe you went through all that." And I'm like, "Yeah, what's the big deal?" He's like, "Man, this is crazy." He's like, "Man, you ought to put this on TV." And that got me thinking. I'm like, you're probably right. Like people would love to watch this. And because
is it on regular television as well?
No, we just meant YouTube.
Oh, YouTube.
I would love for it to be a television show.
I watch a lot more YouTube than I do television. I'll tell you that for sure.
Yeah. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah, no, I just meant, YouTube TV wise, but no, I have fun with it. It's a lot of fun to do them. It's a lot of work. And of course I hadn't done much lately. I've been busy. Me and my wife, we built a house recently. So I got a lot of excuses. If you want an excuse, ask me. I can give you an excuse. but no, I got some filmed. They've been edited. I'm about to release some more. So yeah, there's about to be a few more come out, and I'm excited to get them out there for everybody.
I got to believe that Gator Tracks is your boat sponsor. They got to be loving what you're doing.
Yeah. Well. Oh yeah. They're super happy. They build a great product, and for me to do what I do, and run a boat like that, it's just a perfect fit. Because that's the type of products they build. They build that type of boat for that kind of abuse. I don't want to say abuse, but a lot of their stuff is geared toward duck hunting and different things like that. So and guys are going in marshes and getting up shallow already. They've been building boats like that for years. So they're already on that level. I just kind of took that boat and applied it in a different manner, in a way. I put it in a bass fishing scenario. And of course they got their big, 20 foot, 21 foot, whatever you want, strike series, bass boat, which is a phenomenal boat. The thing runs in the upper 70s. Like it's super fast. It's just, I don't know how they figured it out, but it's an awesome boat. And it outperforms a fiberglass boat because it's so much stronger. The hull, I pass guys up all the time in rough water. Like it's just like, it's so smooth. It just goes through the waves, and guys are like having to slow way down, and I'm just pressing on past them.
Yeah, you put a 250 on a light boat like that, it's going to move.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So they approve of the beaver dam jumping and all that kind of stuff.
Oh yeah, they want me to do that. They want me to show what that boat will go through, because
I've seen a couple of videos. I don't know if you're the actual driver, but I've been looking at Gator Tracks now because of getting ready for this interview, and they have that in a promo, a guy jumping a beaver dam.
Yeah, I think I've seen that. It's not me. They're in a duck boat with a gator tail. Yes, there's a totally different type of boat than what I've been driving. But yeah, they pride themselves on, taking these boats to the most extreme conditions, and that boat holding up and withstanding some of the toughest things that you can put it against. And it's not going to bend, break, give way. Because they build them so solid that they back it. They give guys a lifetime hull warranty on these boats. Like, I don't know any other company that gives a lifetime hull warranty. So, so they back their work 100%, and because it's tried and true. They've been doing it for so long that they know that when they send it out and a customer buys a boat, that it's right and it's going to last them a lifetime.
Well, Keith, I sure appreciate you spending some time with us tonight, wherever you are down there in South Venice.
Yeah.
I feel like I've got a new guy that I want to watch on the tour because I like what you're doing. You're fishing all the stuff that you can. I wish everybody did. I mean, I really wish that we didn't have this separation. I mean, we got separation in politics. We don't need to have separation in bass fishing, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, because I can tell you, most of us are on the same side. I mean, on politics at least. But, yeah, I mean, I think in time, time heals everything. And, we'll just, do what we do and make the best of it. And it's going to be what it's going to be. But I'm going to do my part. I appreciate you having me on. I love bass fishing. I love the competitive side of it. And I encourage anybody else that out there that it's not sure, because it's a lot of talk about boats and I need to go buy this boat and that boat. I just won the AOY of the Opens out of pretty much a John boat, 18-foot boat. It doesn't matter what you're in. It's about your abilities. And I just want to encourage anybody, any young person, older person that doesn't have the money to go out there and spend $60,000, $70,000 on a boat or even more. Just take what you got and make it legal to fish tournaments and go out there and follow your dream, because you can do it. You can absolutely do it. And I want to see more people successful, at a younger age and get out there and be proactive and get after it, because, man, there's nothing but opportunity, nothing but opportunity.
All right. Thanks again for your time, and good luck to you. We'll look forward to watching you next year.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Drop some more of those off the grid specials. Those are fun to watch.
They're coming. Yes, sir.
All right.
Thank you so much.
All right. Good night. Thank you.
Good night. Bye-bye.
You really have to admire what Keith Poche is trying to do. He's going to fish the BPT this year. He's going to fish the BASS Elite Series, and he's going to fish some Opens. I hope that he's able to pull this off. I would love to see Keith qualify for Red Crest. I would love to see him win an Open and qualify to fish the Classic. Can you imagine fishing Red Crest and the Bassmaster Classic in the same year? Well, that's going to do it for this episode of the Bass Wranglers Podcast. Thanks for being with us. Until next time, keep both hands on the wheel. Keep those live fish zipped and clipped. Stay safe out there, and we'll talk to you again very soon.